it's such a relief to finally put the album out, man. And playing with my friends, amazing musicians, JoJo, Brent, Jake, Lenny, everybody, man, Jerry, Ray, Daryl, my nephews, it's Lauren on the vocals. It was amazing, man. A pleasure to get a chance to bring it out into the world, and let the world hear what we did so much hard work on, in the studio, and fought over.
Well, the results, I think, the fights pay dividends, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
The results are beautiful. You mentioned your nephews, and there's a brotherhood and a family relationship with everybody in this band.
Yes, sir.
But, I always, try to find time to cite the importance, the impact of your family on the music community, Camden, Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
And, as we were talking before we got started officially, you have your children here.
Yes, sir.
You have your mother and father here.
Yes, sir.
And that legacy, the Dickerson legacy, and again, the importance of the impact that you guys have made. Why don't you talk a little bit about that foundation of your mother and father and what they've given to this community.
Yes, sir.
And carrying on that tradition with you and your brother.
Yes, sir. Well, my mother and father, man, the list could go on for a very, very long time, man. But my mother and father, they started everything for us, in the city of Camden in regards to music, alone, a lot of people don't know this before I say that, but we were born in Philly, raised in Camden all our lives, so we like Philly, Camden cats, you know what I mean? But my parents are from Philly, and they came to Camden and moved to Camden and started our African dance group, Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble, and our Unity Community Center music program, our praise dance ministry. I mean, we have a whole plethora of artistries that we delve into with my family, martial arts as well, and man. My father, thank God, my mother, I'll tell you one story. My mother, when my brother was little, he said he wanted to go and be in recreation. And my father said, take him right back on up there and sign him up for summer band. And my father, thank God he did that, because my brother was a trumpet player, and I just wanted to be a trumpet player like my brother, man. And I was terrible, trash. I literally learned 3 notes in 3 years, my teacher always used to say. And then they finally gave me a saxophone in the 4th grade, and I loved it ever since, man. And it's, but the legacy that my parents are leaving, for us to continue on is affecting the whole entire Camden community and Philly as well. People over here see me and they say, "You brother Rob's son," and Sister Wanda, that's your mom. And I say, yeah, man, so it's like I'm a mini star to some degree, because of the legacy that my parents have set in place, and in the urban community, especially Black people, it's not a lot of legacies set in place, and my parents they started an institution that's, it can live forever, if put in the right hands, obviously. And, that's one of my goals, to continue my parents' legacies. Don't ever let the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble die. Keep it alive, and because it's affecting for the children. The children need to experience their African culture, which is why one of the reasons when I play my music, I incorporate some of that in it as well, to, let our people, all of us, Black, white, Asian, whatever you are, we're all related some way, somehow. We're cousins, brothers, sisters, mothers, whatever, so I try to put it all in there, man.
Well, sticking with that, As you mentioned during the set, I kid you about the Cora and are you just going to have it sitting up there looking pretty, or are you going to play it? And you definitely played it, and thank you for playing it.
Oh, thank you, bro.
But we spoke recently about you traveling to Africa.
Yes, sir.
You studying in Africa.
Yes, sir.
The relationship to that instrument. If you can share a little bit of that.
Yeah, I traveled a while back to Africa, and this album was a chance for me to put out the music that I really felt in my heart. And I never did that before. When I did my other albums, I hinted at the African rhythms and the drums, and I put a little balafone on a couple of my tracks, but I never really put the actual instruments that I learned when I went to Africa on the tracks. So I'm glad that I did this one, where I put the actual instruments that I learned while I was in Africa. I studied the kora for a month while I was there with a brother named Usman, and he's a great young man, great kora player, amazing. If you're looking into him, his name is King Kora Man, he calls himself. It's amazing. He's my teacher, and I also studied the African flute. And I'm glad to incorporate it into the music because the songs that most people love on the album are the ones with that. So I'm glad I actually put it on there this time and, give people a chance to see both sides of me, because I can be in an audience playing the saxophone and my friends like, yeah, Nas, what's up, bro? They recognize me, but I can be standing right next to them in African garbs with the kora on, and they won't even realize that it's the same guy. And then I gotta say, yo, what's up, bro? And they say, oh, what you got on? So they start doing all of that. And I just tell them, so, when I put this album out, I said to myself, I'm going to give everybody both sides now, and mix it all in there. So I enjoy doing that, man.
Well, your brother, and you had the young Hassan Shabri here today. You created a pipeline for young talent in Camden to make their way up to the university of level.
Yes, sir.
And, again, following in the tradition of your parents, you guys really came up with a model that's been very successful.
Yes, sir.
And if you can talk about that intricate, model that you created, and you had Arnetta Johnson in the audience today.
Yes, sir.
And she was part. She traveled that route, that journey.
Yes, sir. She
if
did.
you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. A little while back, me, my brother, Jamal Dickerson, and our great friend Hassan Sabri, we won an Emmy for the way that we taught, the method that we taught in. Hassan Sabri was in the elementary school level. I was the middle school teacher, and my brother was in high school. But and we created what they called a vertical alignment, where we would kind of cultivate the children all the way through, kind of like planting the seeds and then watching it grow and then enjoying the fruits of the seeds' labor, So we started them in elementary, then they got to me in middle school. They were little buds, and I would, push them out, come on, water them a little bit. And then they would start flourishing when they got to my brother. And now, like students like ours, Arnetta Johnson playing for Beyonce, and JoJo Streeter, who was playing with me right next to me, he's playing for her, and they all playing Bruno Mars on the Super Bowl and all kinds of stuff. So, it's a pleasure. I think the key to that is we love to teach. We love working with the kids. It's not just a thing of, we're just getting paid to do it. Like, we spend hours and hours and never care if we're going to get paid. In most cases, we don't. And we still stay if we don't care, because it's not about the financial aspects. We want to see children grow and become something great in the world. That's when we get our payment. When I see Arnetta on TV playing with Beyonce, and I see JoJo in her albums, Alex Cummins out in China playing all over the place, Daniel Spearman, Michael Spearman, see them cats around town, and I'm at jam sessions, and I'm looking over to my left and my right, and I see my former students. When I saw them, they were little babies, man, and it's just a pleasure to watch that happen,
Well, listen, congratulations on the new record.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I've been bugging you for a long time, and it's glad, I'm glad to see that it's actually, here.
Yes, sir.
It was great to have you in at WRTI for this session today. I think everybody really enjoyed it. It was beautiful,
wow.
man, and continued success.
Thank you, Jay, man. I got to give you a special thank you, bro, because you are keeping the music alive, brother, and you're at almost all my gigs. I see you at everything. You always announcing, just hanging out, man, and you keeping the young musicians, giving us a chance to, put our music out into the world. That's back in the day, cats used to have to pay somebody to do that, and you just looking out for us, man. So we appreciate you. I know I speak for most of the jazz community, the young cats, old cats too. We appreciate you, Jay, for what you do, bro. So thank you very much for allowing me to express myself and all of my friends doing our thing out here, man. Thank you, WRTI and J. Michael Harrison. You the man, bro.
Thank you, and I think that's a wrap.
Yes, sir.
All right. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job, man. Oh, no,